We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act but a habit. Do you believe in the 21/90 rule? It says that if you commit to doing something for at least 15 minutes each day for 21 days, it becomes a habit. If you continue for another 90 days, it becomes second nature. However, this idea is more complex than it sounds. Psychologists and scientists have recently discovered that depending on a person's state of mind, it can take anywhere from 18 to 254 days to form a new habit, with the average being 66 days. So how can you and I completely reinvent ourselves to get healthier, stop procrastinating, be more confident, get smarter, become less socially awkward, or achieve whatever positive resolutions we set every new year? You keep telling yourself this year will be different, but months down the line, you lose track of your progress and give up. The answer to how do I break free from a bad habit in 90 days or less lies at the end of this video. So stick around as I dive into the science behind habits and walk you through a step-by-step process to transform bad habits into good ones. I hope this video inspires you to start making those changes you've been putting off. And speaking of habits, if you're a good listener, subscribe to the channel so you never miss out on more practical tips. Did you know that 40 to 45% of our daily decisions are driven by habits? This is because of the basal ganglia, the part of our brain responsible for creating habits. It saves energy by automating repetitive tasks. This allows us to do things like drive or brush our teeth with little mental effort. You might think you're in control of all your daily actions, but neurologists believe that our habits are driven by something called the habit loop. Imagine it's Monday morning. You're rushing out the door, phone in one hand and coffee in the other, ready to take on the day. Without even thinking, you grab your keys, switch off the lights, and lock the door behind you. How do you manage all of that on autopilot? This loop consists of three parts: a cue, a routine, and a reward. In this case, the cue is waking up and realizing you don't want to be late. The routine is grabbing your essentials, keys, bag, and phone. And the reward? Making it to work on time. Hopefully. In his book, The Power of Habit, Charles Duhigg shares how he struggled to break his cookie addiction. He explains that it's the cue and the reward that have the biggest influence on forming habits, not the routine itself. In one experiment in Germany, a group of young people were told to exercise. 30% of them were instructed to create a cue, like putting their running shoes next to their bed or exercising with the same group of friends, and to reward themselves with a piece of chocolate afterwards. By the end of the study, more than half of these participants exercised regularly and had stopped eating the chocolates. Their brains had learned to reward the activity with the endorphins from exercising, so they no longer needed the chocolate. James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits, explains that our brain uses feedback loops to reinforce bad habits. Each time we go through the habit loop, our brain is busy taking mental notes. Oh, this cue means I should do this, and hey, that reward feels pretty good. Over time, this makes the habit harder to break. Certain simple habits have the power to start a chain reaction and influence other habits positively. These are called keystone habits. For example, if your keystone habit is waking up early, it creates a chain reaction of other good habits in your morning routine. You have more time to focus on tasks, plan your day, meal prep, and ultimately boost your productivity. Think of these habits as the source to changing your life. Now, before I tell you the secret to changing your bad habits to keystone habits in 90 days, remember that being intentional alone won't help you. You have to start now. So, how do you actually break a bad habit? The key is simple. Do it for you. Let's face it, breaking a habit is hard. It's even harder when you're trying to change for someone else. When you decide to change for yourself, it becomes a personal mission. The first 21 days are all about disrupting your habit loop. It's beneficial to take a moment to evaluate your current position in life to identify your why. Why do you want to stop scrolling late at night? Maybe it's to sleep early or feel more productive. Your why needs to be personal. When you have a strong reason, it becomes easier to commit to the change. To identify your why, you need to practice the art of mindfulness. Mindfulness is a powerful way to interrupt your habit loop. Remember, every habit has 3 key parts: a cue, a routine, and a reward. Start by pinpointing the cue. What triggers the urge to engage in that bad habit? Notice when and why it pops up. When the urge hits, use mindfulness to pause and choose a different, healthier action. Picture this. You come home from school, and your first instinct is to grab those chips. But today, you're mindful about it and recognize the cue, walking through the door. Instead of heading for the pantry, you grab an apple. If you constantly replace the routine of heading to the pantry, you'll gradually rewire your brain. The cue remains the same, but the routine and reward change. Congratulations, you've made it through the first 21 days. Now comes the second phase of breaking a bad habit using the 2-day rule. This straightforward idea says, never skip a habit for more than 2 days. Here's how it works. If you miss a day of practicing a good habit to replace a bad one, like meditating or reading, that's okay. Don't beat yourself up. The rule is to avoid repeating the slip-up for a second day in a row. The 2-day rule works great to prevent small breaks from turning into complete abandonment and removes the pressure of perfection. It's all about keeping your habits on track by focusing on consistency. Have a support system. We always wonder what others think of us. Because we are social beings, much of what we do is shaped by how we think others see us. If people see us as responsible, punctual, and organized, we're more likely to live up to that perception. This is a phenomenon called the self-fulfilling prophecy. Your new routine is going to feel uncomfortable because the brain loves sticking to what's worked in the past. But when you have encouragement and accountability, it helps reinforce your commitment to change. So if you want to eat healthier, join a cooking club. If you want to save more, join a financial literacy group. If you want to meditate regularly, join a meditation club. Breaking a bad habit takes time and a lot of motivation, and while you focus on your bad habits, it's worth celebrating your good ones. Feel the joy of letting go of a bad habit, and the process will be more exciting than tolerable. Slowly but surely, you will forget you ever had that habit in the first place. So, what habit are you ready to break? Your 90-day journey starts today. Good luck! If you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Oh yeah, check out our other videos right here.